Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Can my battleship be upgraded? Chapter 31. Wang Dong became a little more passionate, his eyes narrowed slightly, and the 8-directional rudder in his hand controlled the scout warship to make irregular evasive movements, and quickly approached. I love juice. The distance is 0.1 light minutes. The third high-energy projectile passed 87 kilometers away. The sudden acceleration and manual evasion made the calculation model of the I Love Juice battleship surveillance radar fire control system inaccurate. Even though the distance was closer, the hit rate did not improve. The two sides are hedging at high speed. The distance of 0.1 light minutes is not enough to fire the next round of main guns. The second round will follow. After I Love Juice discovered Wang Dong, it adopted a strategy of approaching at full speed and always maintained at high speed. At this moment, Wang Dong's warship speed was approaching the upper limit that the ship's structure could support after a full-speed assault. When the two sides collide, the distance of 0.1 light minutes will return to zero in less than 20 seconds. This time is not enough time for the main gun of I Love Juice to charge and fire. After the war started, my main gun never fired or was hit. The opponent doesn't know the enhancement level of my battleship, so they don't dare to slow down at the risk of being hit. So, whether you can win or not depends on the next hedging. Quote, there is no need to deliberately judge, Wang Dong comes to a conclusion subconsciously. This is rich experience at work. The higher the speed of the battleship, the lower the hit rate. Without knowing that Wang Dong's main gun was only LV1, I Love Juice did not adopt the strategy of slowing down to extend the hedging time and increase the rounds of artillery battles. Instead, choose to hedge at full speed, and then take a roundabout way to fight after the intersection. This is a safe tactic, but it also gives Wang Dong a chance. The thrust of the main engine decreases, and the number 1 azimuth adjustment engine starts at full power. The main gun starts charging in 10 seconds, and the preparation countdown is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start charging. In the virtual starry sky, the thrust of Wang Dong's battleship dropped sharply, and at the same time, the azimuth adjustment engine located above and on the side of the battleship sprayed out blue flames at full strength. As the two warships collided rapidly, it was visible to the naked eye that Wang Dong's warship changed from the bow facing the I Love Juice warship to the bow of the warship tilted upward while facing the I Love Juice warship. Turn below. If the two ships were originally facing each other on the same plane, now the I Love Juice warship is still moving forward in the same direction. However, Wang Dong's battleship was driven by the full power of the azimuth adjustment engine above, and its forward direction changed to the bottom of the I Love Juice battleship. The two ships are about to pass each other one by one. At this time, the bow of the Wang Dong battleship is tilted upward, and the direction facing it will be the underbelly of the I Love Juice battleship. The lower abdomen of the I Love Juice battleship will be completely exposed to the attack range of the Wang Dong battleship's main gun at the moment of intersection. Main gun charging countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, charging completed. The countdown to the hedging intersection is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the two ships are meeting. Main gun fire. The first firing of the main gun does not require reloading, only charging, and the charging time only takes 10 seconds. At this moment, Wang Dong's previous strategy of not firing a single shot got the best return. As the main gun was activated, high-speed projectiles flew out. At the closest range, it accurately hits the bottom of the stern engine of the I Love Juice battleship, directly destroying the engine of the I Love Juice battleship. Although the shipboard optical brain of the I Love Juice battleship made some temporary adjustments, the battleship, which had lost the initiative and was unable to significantly adjust its hull, was unable to avoid the bombardment from close range and was still hit in vital parts. The enemy ship's engine is 60% damaged and its output is reduced by 90%. The enemy ship damage assessment prompt sound of the shipboard optical brain is as beautiful as the sound of nature. The ship's hull structure is damaged by 13%, and the engine output is reduced by 5%. In sharp contrast is the sound of the ship's damage assessment. This kind of drastic change of direction is a heavy load for the Wang Dong battleship, whose hull structure is only LV1. It is very normal for the hull structure to be damaged. If it happens 2 or 3 more times, the hull may even be directly broken and damaged. But this doesn't matter, because Wang Dong has gained an absolute advantage. Wang Dong's diving to the top directly caused serious damage to the I Love Juice battleship engine, and its output dropped by 90%. This is more serious than the short-term imbalance in the previous game. Not only does the opponent's speed slow down, but the charging time of the main gun will be extended several times, which can basically determine failure. Sure enough, just a few seconds later, the system prompt sounded. ID. The player I Love Juice initiated a surrender application. The countdown is 60, 59, 58. Wang Dong controlled the ship to make a detour and stopped not far from the side of the I Love Juice battleship, without allowing the main gun to continue charging. Now that the other party has surrendered, there is no need to whip the corpse anymore. You still need to understand the basic demeanor, dear. Peaceful society, peaceful games. ID. I Love Juice players initiate a communication request. Electronic sound prompt. Wang Dong took a long breath, calmed down the excitement just now, and connected the communication. Boss, let's form a team and conquer the battlefield together. A delicate female voice sounded. I can hug my thighs and shout 666. Time is limited, sorry. Wang Dong decisively refused and then cut off communication. Not interested at all. I'm lucky. The timing of the diving jump to the top is just right. It seems that the control level of the battleship has been significantly improved. Wang Dong silently praised himself. The tactical action of diving to the top is quite difficult. The opportunity for the two ships to meet is extremely short. With the speed of both sides changing all the time, it is very difficult to accurately judge the timing of charging the main gun. It does require a certain amount of luck. The main gun is activated immediately after charging. At least the main gun on the destroyer is like this, which places high demands on the captain's judgment. The charging is too early. When the charging is completed and the main gun must be fired, the positions of the two ships have not reached the intersection point. The opponent's warship has not yet moved to the firing surface of your main gun, and cannot hit the opponent's warship. It was too late to recharge, and the meeting point was already passed, so we could only fire cannons. Moreover, the armor of the I Love Juice battleship is also at the LV2 level. If Wang Dong had just missed the critical part of the engine, even if it was slightly above the target, and the impact point had landed on the armor at the rear of the I Love Juice battleship, it would have only been a minor injury at best. When I Love Juice calmed down, he discovered that Wang Dong's main gun was only LV1. As long as the ship's speed was reduced and the battle was dragged into an endless gun battle, Wang Dong's defeat could be expected. Wang Dong then continued to match, and matched for 3 more games in a row. Total victory. It feels good to torture food for a while, and it feels good to torture food all the time. That's weird. It will also be boring to abuse food all the time. There was some initial interest. But after a few games, this nostalgic interest gradually disappeared. After all, he is no longer the young boy he once was, and Journey to the Stars no longer has much appeal to Wang Dong. Quit, Star Journey. After confirming the command, Wang Dong's perspective exited from the battleship. The battleship gradually moved away, and finally turned into a small icon staying in the direction of the zenith. Just when Wang Dong was about to check out other applications, a message suddenly popped up. Your friend, ID 222, is online. This is a game information tip from Star Journey. Warm memories came to my mind. Wang Dong has been playing Star Journey for more than 3 years. He doesn't have many friends in the game, but he still has dozens. 222 is the most talkative among them. Because like Wang Dong, she chose to use novice blank ships that had never been enhanced. Before his rebirth, Wang Dong traveled all the way after obtaining the Tomahawk. He no longer had time for leisurely games, and Star Journey was long forgotten. Friends in the game naturally lost contact. I always feel a little regretful when I think of it occasionally. After seeing the prompt, Wang Dong re-entered Journey to the Star Sea without hesitation. Once online, before Wang Dong could sit down in the captain's seat of his Scout-class destroyer, the friend information arrived. Xiao Dongzi, you're here too. It's just the right time. Come and practice some skills with my sister. I learned another tactical maneuver today, so I can try it on you. A charming girl's voice sounded. It is the message from the Tutu Rabbit. Wang Dong shook his head and smiled bitterly, and replied subconsciously, Little Rabbit, you are pretending to be big again. I have already told you that I am 2 months older than you, so I want to call you Brother Dong. Do you understand? Just a little bit, you're just a little kid and you still want to be a brother. I'll fight my sister first. Do you want me to let you adjust the engine in one direction? Through the silver bell-like laughter, the strange image of the girl's elf seemed to appear before her eyes. The two are standard game friends. Their interaction is limited to the game, Star Ocean Journey, and they have no other contact. According to the ages reported by both parties, Wang Dong and Tutu Rabbit were born in the same year, and Wang Dong was 2 months and 6 days older. However, because the game level of the two parties is quite different, Tutu always refuses to admit that she is younger. Instead, she often calls herself sister. Tutu has a very high level of warship control and strategic and tactical vision. At least at that time, there were few opponents that Wang Dong had encountered in the 3 years of Journey to the Star Sea who were stronger than her. From Wang Dong's current perspective, it is not simple. Tutu claimed to be a student at the Royal Sky Survey Higher Education College of the Bohemia Kingdom. Wang Dong believed her because of her battleship control skills and strategic and tactical vision. When Wang Dong entered the game, Star Journey, he started to practice his battleship control skills from scratch. Since he had never been exposed to this knowledge before, Wang Dong basically practiced blindly in the first 2 years, practicing based on his own feelings. To be honest, the effect is average. The winning rate in the game is also quite low, not even reaching 15% because of insisting on using whiteboard ships. It wasn't until 2 years later that Wang Dong encountered Tutu Rabbit in the battlefield mode of Journey to the Star Sea. In the team battle mode of 100 people, Wang Dong and Tutu Rabbit are in the same camp. Under the command of Tutu Rabbit, the two whiteboard ships Wang Dong and Tutu Rabbit executed a major detour on the battlefield and successfully ambushed the commander's flagship of the opponent's legion, making a huge contribution to the victory of this team battle. After the war, Wang Dong acted decisively and launched the invincible water mill method, successfully persuading Tutu to give him some guidance on battleship control. Perhaps, as Tutu later revealed, she was a student at the Royal Academy of Higher Education. Tutu then fully demonstrated her systematic and solid ship warfare theory and control methods in the one-on-one guidance battle against Wang Dong. This guidance battle made Wang Dong suddenly enlightened and understood the direction of progress. Later, Wang Dong's practice in Journey to the Star Sea can really be regarded as exercise. Practice basic skills first, starting with basic operations such as controlling the movement of the warship, moving sideways, and shooting, and then proceed to further combined maneuvers such as fine-tuning the warship's speed, changing orientation, and irregular tactical avoidance, and then to some simple tactical maneuvers. Even though it's just a virtual game, the operations are still more or less the same as those on a real ship. In the following year, Wang Dong consolidated his foundation step by step, and his winning rate in the game gradually increased, from less than 15% to nearly 50%, making a qualitative leap. This kind of gain was fully reflected after Wang Dong took over the tomahawk before his rebirth. If it weren't for the foundation he had developed in Journey to the Star Sea, Wang Dong would not have been able to delay for such a long time when being pursued by the Jin family's warships. In terms of battleship control, it can be said that Tutu Rabbit was Wang Dong's first teacher. Therefore, Wang Dong is very grateful to Tutu, both in the past and now. As for Wang Dong's rapid progress under his own guidance, Tutu also has a sense of accomplishment in being a teacher by example. So over time, the relationship between the two became better and better. Wang Dong also inadvertently disclosed some of his own situation to Tutu. A gentleman is open-minded, just playing a game, there is no need to keep any secrets. Tutu Rabbit occasionally has a few words related to his own situation, and he is not too taboo about it. The relationship between the two seems a bit more like netizens. If there happens to be a situation where two people are online in the game, Tutu will often invite Wang Dong as a partner to join the battle or have a few one-on-one duels. Of course, in Heads Up, Wang Dong's winning rate is always 0. Regarding the challenge from 222, Wang Dong smiled and responded according to his usual routine. The old rule is, sing a nice song to me, and I will lie down and let you torture me. Bah, Minato is shameless. I will not abuse you tonight, so as not to hurt your fragile self-esteem. Come, hurry up and say thank you to the upright and kind-hearted Sister Rabbit, Sister Longin. 222 smiled lightly. Is it Sister Xie Tuan? Wang Dong responded directly with a small complaint. Luan Luluo, no matter what the favor is, just thank you sister. 222 turned on the out of context mode and easily defeated Wang Dong. With my ability to complain, I wish I had the help of Demon King Lu Shu. Wang Dong was KO'd with one blow. He didn't blame the enemy for having Gundam, but he blamed himself for being too low. Words are Wang Dong's weakest link. By the way, Little Rabbit, you said you were a student at the Royal Sky Survey Higher Education College of the Bohemia Kingdom. Is that true? Suddenly something came to mind and Wang Dong decisively changed the topic. Sure enough, you are still a little kid who can only survive one round. If you change the topic so quickly, you are what you call the fifth scum of war. Just a little bit. 222 first stepped on Wang Dong who had been knocked to the ground, and then answered Wang Dong's question. Sister Rabbit will not change her name. She is a first-year freshman at the Royal Sky Survey College of Higher Education of the Bohemia Kingdom. Of course, she will be a second-year senior student in a few months. What's the matter, Xiao Dongzi, do you want to come and give a gift to your Sister Rabbit? We have a completely closed military-style teaching, you can't come in. Actually, I just want to ask, are all the students at the Royal Sky Survey Academy of Higher Education as strong as you? Wang Dong originally wanted to ask 222 if he wanted to do a face-based operation. As a result, before the words came out of his mouth, he was directly pushed back. As you may think, Sister Bentu is one of the top 3 seed players in the entire grade. She can be compared to any cat or dog. 222 replied naturally, top 3 overall. I'm sorry, you are such a little rabbit. Wang Dong complained habitually. No matter how small the rabbit is, it's still a sister. If you don't accept it, let's fight. As promised, I'll let you adjust the engine in one direction. 222 snorted. Wang Dong. Let's discuss Yang Yang's new book. Defeat decisively. Another one-round KO. Yang Yang is a best-selling author in the Plantagenet Federation, known for his delicate writing style. Starry Sky Dragon Slayer. I know this, ha ha ha, but I haven't read it. I haven't read any of Yang Yang's books. Since you haven't seen it, why would you know? All the boys in the academy like it. They also use the martial arts in the books written by Yang Yang to add nicknames to the tactical moves. The Zenith Assault is called Filongzation, and the 3-stage charging is called Kanglong Yugi. It's so funny all alone. 222 vividly imitated the performances of the martial arts fans in the academy on the public channel of simulated battles, while making himself laugh non-stop. Ha ha ha, it's really interesting. Wang Dong listened to the laughter of 22 Rabbit, as clear as summer wind chimes, imagining the scene when the names of various tricks were blasted on the public frequency from time to time during the Battleship battle. Brother, take my move and the flying dragon rises in the sky, do you escape? It's okay. This is a combo, look at my mighty dragon but regrets the combo, He hid again. Oops, brother, your move of star shift is a bit cruel, I'd better dodge first without using hidden dragon. Quote. It's really full of inexplicable joy. The two continued to chat for a while, and before they knew it, more than an hour had passed. Oops, I accidentally chatted for such a long time, and I haven't done today's tactical action practice yet. Little boy, it's all your fault. 222 finally remembered the business and said angrily. In the Royal Sky Survey College of Higher Education, which is managed in a militaristic manner, except when required for formal courses, the time that you can connect to the Star Domain network is not very long every day, only a few hours before lights out at night. My pot, how about I practice 2 sets with you? Wang Dong doesn't mind 222's habit of shirking responsibility. Forget it, Xiao Dongzi, you better practice more with those 2 attacks. Sister 2 has withdrawn first. Come on, Xiao Dongzi, keep in touch. See you later. Ah, bye. After saying goodbye to each other, the status of 222's friend instantly changed to waiting in queue, and the action was quite simple. Wang Dong thought for a moment, then suddenly reached out and pinched his eyebrows. What's going on with this sudden feeling of joy that comes from my heart? Maybe it's because we haven't seen each other for so long. Also, after rebirth, the catastrophe was initially successfully avoided, which brought about psychological relaxation. Still be cautious and don't overthink it. You need to know how much virtue you need to accumulate in order to seize the opportunity to travel through time. Look at the hundreds of thousands of writers and hundreds of millions of book friends on a certain literary website in the previous life. How many of them could travel through time? I tell you very responsibly, there may not be any. Not to mention, after traveling through time, you can enjoy the benefits of being reborn again. Wang Dong believes that the golden finger of the system can only determine the lower limit of a person. After having a system, one also needs to look at one's own overall quality, which is the key factor that really affects the upper limit a person can reach. In his previous life, Wang Dong had a lot of helplessness due to the situation, and in the end he didn't do well in life. To tell the truth, it is a disgrace to the group of time travelers. In this life, if I don't live a wanton and unruly life, swaying the sea of stars, and looking down on me for the rest of my life, won't I be completely looked down upon by others? I also failed to live up to the great blessing. There will be bread, there will be milk. There will also be love. In the initial stage, it is still necessary to lurk peacefully and develop well. Some things cannot be rushed. Even if she is really a covetous little girl, she wants to seduce others. Thinking of the Plantagenet Federation in the country next door going to the offline base, it also needs to have enough capital. The current Tomahawk and Wang Dong are far from adequate. Wang Dong hung out at Maizu Internet Cafe for half a day before leaving with a look of unfinished business. In the next few days, Wang Dong followed his previous life trajectory without revealing any flaws. Don't talk about going to the streets to buy energy blocks, let alone looking for the profiteer from your previous life. Lao Shi's side is also much calmer after the last blow. All the best. Until June 20th, another mining day. Early in the morning, Wang Dong came to the mining company's spacecraft parking lot in high spirits. But I saw many miners gathered together, not choosing a mining spacecraft but whispering. Wang Dong paused for a moment, then stepped forward. Old Shi, are you telling the truth? Are there really unknown warships in the mining area? Then it's still false. I saw it with my own eyes. Isn't the image record on the mining spacecraft enough? Lao Shi smiled proudly. Not only a battleship, but also a fire battleship. Do you know what a fire battleship is? No matter what kind of warship it is, I'm just worried about whether the mining area will be unstable. It's impossible for a warship to appear in the mining area for no reason. Yes, what did Boss Chin say? He contracted the mining area, so there must be an explanation. Yeah, I'm a little afraid to go into the mine. A group of miners talked one after another. What they are more concerned about is whether their own interests may be affected. Rather than provoking the topic, Lao Shi originally wanted to hear the envy. Why are you so worried? Will the fire warship take a fancy to poor miners like you? You are short-sighted and deserve to be poor. Lao Shi drooped his eyelids and muttered angrily. Wang Dong felt calm in his heart. What Lao Shi encountered should be the Jin family's fire battleship searching for the Tomahawk. It's definitely not the Tomahawk. Wang Dong is staring at it. Through the quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system, Wang Dong always has a grasp of the specific situation of the Tomahawk. Like ordinary miners, Wang Dong stepped forward and listened to the news. No miners set out to mine, and even Lao Shi seemed to have come to his senses with a little fear. Encountering a battleship in the mining area is not a good thing. In the mining area, people often die without being able to find the reason. Even if the warships don't take action, if they pass by each other at close range, they may still have an impact on the miners mining spaceships. Wang Dong was not in a hurry to set off. Until the mine owner Lao Chin came after hearing the news. You guys are worrying so much. Will the warships from the great nobles care about you poor fools? The mining area is so big. Did you just encounter it? Even if you do meet someone, you should be wise and hide away. Are you afraid that the noble master will be as knowledgeable as you? Don't mess around. Hurry up and go to the mines. The purchase price this month will increase by 5%. Quote. Lao Chin is not nice to talk to, but he is quite well informed. Without any skills or connections, I can't contract a mining area. The miners could still listen to what he said. Most people think it makes sense. Even if a few people still murmur in their hearts, they are reluctant to give up the 5% increase in return rate. So not long after, the miners began to select spaceships and prepare to go to the mines. Wang Dong was also among them, just like a drop of water mixed into the river, showing no abnormality at all. Stardate June 22, 10105, 1300. Somewhere within the asteroid belt mining area. After a day of mining operations, and after estimating that the harvest was sufficient, Wang Dong drove the mining spacecraft and successfully rendezvoused with the Tomahawk. Dock the mining spacecraft into the Tomahawk's cargo hold and unload some minerals onto the Tomahawk. Some of these minerals were specially mined by Wang Dong to be used as auxiliary materials for the upgrade of the shipboard module on the Tomahawk. There are no precious minerals, but there is no shortage of common minerals in this asteroid belt mining area. Wang Dong stepped into the command cabin with ease. The command cabin, with only the captain alone, seemed a bit empty and lonely. Welcome aboard, Your Excellency, Commander. The ship's optical brain greeted him in a timely manner. Wang Dong smiled slightly. How could one feel lonely aboard the Tomahawk? Learn about men's romance. Sitting on the commander's chair, Wang Dong first entered the high-speed human-computer data interaction state. Only in this state can the battleship auxiliary system fully exert its functions. Immediately afterwards, Wang Dong opened the optional function 1 of the system, different space signal capture. As a unit of low-level energy crystal slowly disappeared in Wang Dong's palm, the shipboard fire on the Tomahawk began to react. The flame that had always remained stable began to rise slightly, as if following a certain pattern and resonating. Tilt slightly, as the low-level energy crystals completely disappeared, the shipboard fire stabilized. Hey, our ship's fire has received the signal from another space and can open the battlefield in another space. Please confirm, Captain. The shipboard's smart brain prompts. Wang Dong clenched his fist fiercely, and the auxiliary system worked smoothly. It allows the shipboard fire on the Tomahawk to successfully receive signals from different spaces in the asteroid belt with complex celestial links. There is no need to rush to the distant cosmic void area, and there is no need to wander around in the cold and dead cosmic void zone like luck. Relying on the system, Wang Dong can easily enter the different space battlefield anywhere in the universe. There was no rush to get in right away. The first thing Wang Dong did was to activate the Mirage system and put the Tomahawk into hiding. This is important. Next, Wang Dong released a dozen micro-detectors again, distributed in the surrounding airspace. Enter the battlefield in another space. In the end, Wang Dong did not hesitate and issued the order resolutely. The next moment, the Tomahawk's engine was running at full speed, the ship's fire was rising violently, the flames were blazing, and it was full of power. Then, with a mysterious wave that enveloped the ship, the Tomahawk's ship shadow disappeared from the universe and was teleported to another time and space in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, a strong feeling of dizziness came over me. Just a moment later, the dizziness receded like a tide, as if it had never appeared. Wang Dong quickly regained consciousness. Unlike the first time, when I almost vomited all over the floor. Before I had time to reflect on the feeling of entering the different space battlefield, again, the prompt message from the ship's optical brain had already sounded. Survey radar has discovered enemy traces. The search results are as follows. First level interstellar civilization, planet level fortress, number 2, medium threat, battleship units, number 2386, medium threat, habitable planets, number 10, low threat. The survey radar quickly feeds back the detection results. This is a galaxy with 12 planets. 3 of them are habitable planets, 2 are military fortresses, and there are a large number of warships cruising around the galaxy. The most important thing is, a first-class interstellar civilization. An interstellar civilization that initially has the ability to leave the surface of a planet and colonize alien planets. Usually, footsteps cannot leave the home galaxy, so it is also called a galaxy-level civilization. What a big piece of fat. More than 2,000 battleships, this number is astonishing enough. It has reached the level where ants kill an elephant. But Wang Dong is not worried, it is just a first-class interstellar civilization. The combat effectiveness of its battleships is even inferior to the white version of the fire battleship that has not been enhanced in any way. What's more, compared to the white version of the fire warship that only carries 5 unqualified standard modules, the Tomahawk is superior in both the quality of the shipboard modules and the level of enhancement. Whether it is armor, firepower, or speed, these first-level civilization battleships are far inferior to the Tomahawk. As long as Wang Dong doesn't act foolishly, and this kind of battle requires hard steel from the front, then death is inevitable. More importantly, the battleships of the first-level interstellar civilization are basically not equipped with energy shields, which is another major advantage of the fire battleships. Their main gun cannot penetrate the Tomahawk's energy shield and cause effective damage to the armor. Just be careful not to get beaten up. First-level civilization, ha ha ha. Wang Dong laughed loudly and was lucky. Normally, the enemies encountered by the fire warship in the different space battlefield are not all first-class interstellar civilizations. Rather, it is based on the evaluation level of the fire warship. When the comprehensive combat power evaluation level of the fire warship is below LV5, most of the encounters in the alien space battlefield are first-level interstellar civilizations, and there is only a small probability of second-level interstellar civilizations. And when the comprehensive combat power evaluation level of a fire warship exceeds LV5, the probability of encountering first-level interstellar civilization and second-level interstellar civilization reaches 28%. In turn, there is a small probability of encountering a first-level interstellar civilization, and a high probability of encountering a second-level interstellar civilization. After exceeding LV10, you will basically not encounter first-level interstellar civilization. Therefore, some people jokingly say that below LV5, it is the novice stage for fire warships. The current comprehensive combat power evaluation level of the Tomahawk is LV6, and there is a high probability that it will encounter a second-level interstellar civilization. The combat effectiveness of the battleships of the second-level interstellar civilization is obviously higher than that of the first-level interstellar civilization. The Tomahawk's frontal combat effectiveness is not its advantage. The 5 standard modules are all considered generic. Mainly because the golden quality Mirage system has raised the overall combat power rating. Wang Dong can bully the upper-level interstellar civilization with confidence. Against the second-level interstellar civilization, the Tomahawk will struggle. Another reason comes from the number of opponents in this different space battlefield. This time's luck is much better than the first different space battlefield before rebirth. The alien space battlefield we entered last time was a pioneering fleet of a first-level interstellar civilization. There were only a few hundred ships, and only a few dozen source points were obtained, which was not enough. Quote, for sinking a battleship of a first-level interstellar civilization, the normal source point gained is about 1 point. Unfortunately, the Tomahawk is a third-generation ship, and its source point acquisition rate is only 25%. In other words, a first-level interstellar civilization battleship only earns 0.25 points. With over 100 battleships, the harvest of less than 50 source points is really not much. But this time, Wang Dong appeared directly inside the home galaxy of a certain first-level interstellar civilization, and the harvest was obviously predictable. A foreign warship like the Tomahawk suddenly appeared in this prosperous galaxy, but it did not cause the slightest ripples. There was no movement among the fleets cruising in the distant galaxy. As time passed, more than 10 minutes after the Tomahawk appeared, the civilization still had no response. This is not because of the technical problems of this civilization. Any civilization, inside and outside the home galaxy, will be equipped with surveillance equipment. This is the most basic self-protection quality. What's more, this civilization already has the ability to fortify the planet and has put it into practice. It shows that they are not that silly and careless civilization. That kind of civilization usually doesn't survive more than 3 chapters in the universe. So the reason why they never discovered the Tomahawk is very clear. Wang Dong smiled slightly. Phantom system. Before entering the different space battlefield, the Tomahawk was in a hidden state in the Mirage system. Obviously, the hidden state of the Mirage system has not been affected by the process of crossing different spaces. This is a technique that Wang Dong discovered before he was reborn. This is also the main reason why he attaches great importance to the Mirage system, a ship-based module. The hidden state provided by the Mirage system is stable enough. Unlike Wang Dong, he has a Battleship game auxiliary system that can ignore the celestial environment and directly capture signals from different spaces. This allows the Tomahawk to, actively, enter another space by controlling the time and place where it receives signals from another space. Other fire warships do not have this ability. The way they enter different spaces is by wandering in the void belt of the universe, ready to hit their luck at any time, passively, receiving signals from different spaces. The startup of the Mirage system requires a lot of energy, lasts for 24 hours, and then requires a buffer time of 24 hours. Other fire warships cannot control the timing of entering a different space, so naturally they cannot use the concealment function of the Mirage system to gain the upper hand after entering a different space. Wang Dong's auxiliary system, combined with the high stability of the Mirage system, brings new advantages. The effect between the two is not as simple as 1 + 1. Just like Wang Dong is now, the Tomahawk has clearly appeared in the home galaxy of this civilization and is eyeing it. But they didn't find anything unusual. This makes Wang Dong, unlike other fire warships, need to enter combat status immediately after entering the alien space battlefield. Instead, they can collect battlefield intelligence quite calmly, and then formulate strategies and tactics based on the actual situation. If he encounters an extremely dangerous battlefield in another space, Wang Dong can quietly choose to escape without being exposed at all. In situations of equal strength, Wang Dong also has the first mover advantage. As for the current advantage where the enemy is weak and we are strong, we can have plenty of time to formulate better tactics to obtain maximum benefits. There is no youthfulness and confusion when entering the battlefield in another space for the first time. Turn on the survey radar and implement data message intrusion. Wang Dong ordered calmly. The survey radar not only has the two functions of finding enemies and fire control, it also has the ability to collect data. Coupled with the powerful analysis and summary capabilities of the shipboard optical brain, as long as there is enough time, sufficient information can be provided to the commander. For example, in the current galaxy, within each inhabited planet, between planets and battleships, and even between battleships, there are a large number of various communication waves and data flows. Given enough time, the Sky Survey Radar can completely intercept the information, and then analyze and summarize it through the shipboard optical brain to summarize valuable intelligence. There is no need to consider language barriers. In the interstellar era, this problem has been solved in more than 100 ways. From the original Civilization Dictionary, to the upgraded version of Civilization Illustration, to all kinds of big data analysis. After analyzing the languages and other communication methods of tens of thousands of different civilizations, for the vast majority of unfamiliar civilizations that use conventional methods to communicate, there is no technical difficulty in bilateral communication or even unilateral deciphering. After waiting patiently for just an hour, Wang Dong got a piece of detailed information. Civilization in different spaces. Yutai Civilization, Civilization History 12,060 years. Civilization Level. First Class Interstellar Civilization. Main Energy Sources. Nuclear energy, nuclear fission, large-scale nuclear fusion. Sphere of Influence. 2 light years, 3 habitable planets, population 18 billion. Ship type combat power. 20 to 48 points for combat ships, 102 points for mother ships. Language. Yatai. Civilization system. Monarchy. Quote. Wang Dong swept through most of the information, and only the small amount of information that was truly valuable could be used as a reference for combat operations. Based on the information collected, Wang Dong began to quickly formulate a plan. First, there is the situation of the Tomahawk itself. The weapons of the Tomahawk are only the main gun and the secondary gun. For a first-class civilized warship like this, the main gun can of course kill one child at a time. Even the secondary gun can destroy it instantly if it hits a vital point. The current ammunition reserve of the Tomahawk is the main gun ammunition reserve, 123 rounds, and the secondary battery ammunition reserve, 2012. A little less, mainly because I didn't expect that I would encounter such a large opponent in my first different space battlefield. The armor is only LV1, other parts don't matter, the main thing is to be careful not to be hit too much on the already damaged stern part of the ship. Fortunately, the energy shield module carried on the Tomahawk has been strengthened twice and can play a great role. The planetary orbital gun is not to be messed with, and the 2 military fortress-shaped planets are not to be touched. Quote, compared with a cheating opponent like the Tomahawk whose comprehensive combat power evaluation has reached LV6, the first-level interstellar civilization seems a bit weak. The initial level of a first-level interstellar civilization like Yutai civilization may pose a considerable threat to fire warships whose comprehensive combat power rating is lower than LV5. Against those above LV5, it's a bit powerless. A large amount of data shows that if the LV0, fire, battleship that has just set sail does not understand the essence of the word, go, it will often be destroyed in the different space battlefield with a high probability. It's not that LV0 level fire warships are weak, mainly because battlefields in different spaces are always fought on the opponent's home court, and civilizations in different spaces have an absolute numerical advantage. Hundreds of warships can easily surround one of your warships. Once the regeneration rate of the energy shield cannot keep up, if the shield is overloaded and key parts such as the engine nozzle are hit, the game will be over. A tiger is no match for a pack of wolves, let alone a fledgling fire warship. Captains who are aggressive and shouting when they come up often cannot last long. Except for the lucky ones, who happen to encounter scenes such as small mining sites, observation stations, and remote settlements that are not protected by armed forces. The vast majority of novice fire warships often adopt the 16-character mantra policy of, observe from a distance, be cautious, hit and run, and never look back, when they enter the different space battlefield for the first few times. After working piecemeal, I worked hard to save some source points for initial module strengthening. As the number of different space battlefields increases, the number of accumulated source points also increases, and the fire warships will become stronger and stronger. After strengthening 2 or 3 modules, the main problem in each different space battlefield changed from survival to obtaining as many source points as possible. Then, when the fire warship's combat power and level reach a certain level and it begins to reach higher level interstellar civilizations, it can then start to develop slowly. Survival and origin, this pair of cycles, are always implemented in the course of the fire warship in the different space battlefield, like an endless Ouroboros. As for the Tomahawk, it has already gone through the initial novice process and has a level of LV6. Against an opponent like the Yutai civilization, which is not a strong opponent among the first-level interstellar civilization, the advantage is still very obvious. The remaining question is how to achieve the greatest possible results in just 24 hours. Wang Dong pondered. The first goal is to harvest at least 1,000 source points first. Wang Dong's first step is to get 1,000 source points and change the name of the Tomahawk. The name of the fire warship has been determined after the fire is fused. It is engraved in the fire on the ship and cannot be changed at will. If you want to change it, you need to consume 1,000 source points to do it once. This is a pretty hefty number. The name of the battleship is engraved in the fire. Under normal circumstances, pseudonyms cannot be used between Tinder warships. When verifying identity, what is sent to the other party must be the real name of the battleship, the Tinder code, and there is no way to fake it. When the fire warships on both sides exchange information, they cannot falsify it in any form. The only thing that can be chosen by the captain is how many permissions to open. For example, you can choose to open the basic information of your own fire warship, such as the name of the warship, comprehensive rating, etc., or you can choose to only open the name of the warship and not the level. You can also choose not to open anything to the public and become an anonymous person. However, you cannot choose to have your fire battleship display a fake name or fake level. The Tomahawk is on the Jin family's blacklist. Although it was not like the previous life, the 2 warships fought in the mining area, which directly attracted the attention of all parties. But as time goes by, the arrival of a Jin family fire warship will inevitably attract the attention of the local forces in the Mining Star region. With the local forces watching, it is not difficult to find out the purpose of this Jin family warship. After all, the Jin family's conspiracy against Yuan Shu happened on KQ-03. Never underestimate the level of intelligence that local forces have within their own capabilities. Next, the Jin family's warship will not be the only one searching for the Tomahawk in the mining area. If we can find the Tomahawk before the Jin family's battleship, no matter what we do next, we will be able to make a huge profit. Therefore, the most critical dilemma Wang Dong faces now is that he himself can only stay on the mining planet in the near future, and the effective range of the quantum entangled brainwave manipulation system is limited, and the Tomahawk cannot stay away. At the same time, a large number of people will be casting a net in the mining area to search, and the Tomahawk may be exposed at any time. Once you earn enough 1000 source points and change the Tomahawk ID first, you can largely avoid the risk of direct exposure. Because the mining area is a long way from the nearest cosmic void zone, it is theoretically impossible to enter the different space battlefield in a short time and obtain enough source points to carry out this rename operation. Of course, it cannot be ruled out that the Tomahawk itself has a certain source point reserve, but at least compared to the two, Tomahawk, or Anonymous, once the Tomahawk is renamed, it will be under suspicion. The priority will be much lower. Turn your attention back. First-level civilization battleships each have approximately 1 source point. Civilization members, 1 source point per 10,000 people. Civilized creations obtain source points according to their own value and in proportion, but most of them will not exceed the harvest of a battleship in terms of individual gains. Therefore, under normal circumstances, battleships are given priority, and when faced with habitable planets, population centers are given priority. In the absence of both, civilization's creations, such as satellites, or ships, various equipment, etc., will be destroyed. There are no weapons of mass destruction on the Tomahawk. After all, it is just a destroyer. The only main guns and secondary guns are used to target individual combat units. Select the population, and if you fire the main gun, you won't be able to kill many people. So on the surface, it seems that Wang Dong's target should be the enemy's warships. There are more than 2,000 of them, which is enough to sustain them. But for veterans like Wang Dong, this is not the case. Based on the information at hand, I can't help but make calculations in my heart. After a while, he took a deep breath. It has only just reached the first-level interstellar civilization in more than 30,000 years. This kind of development speed is weak. The combat power of ordinary battleships is only 48 points, which is negligible. A few motherships only have 102 points of combat power, and the blank LV-0 the fire battleship is comparable, and the Tomahawk is also not worth mentioning. If nuclear energy is used, there will be no shortage of nuclear bombs. However, nuclear bombs are generally ineffective in space battles, mainly because they are too slow. At the speed of the Tomahawk, they can be easily dodged. Unfortunately, nuclear bombs must have strict confidentiality certification and cannot be used. Otherwise, considering the population density on the following planets, it will not be easy to farm some source points. Quote, after thinking for a moment, Wang Dong issued a new instruction: scan the habitable planetary landscape below and screen out nodes that can cause large-scale disasters. For every 10,000 civilizations' population destroyed, 1 source point can be obtained. The Yutai galaxy below is the main galaxy of the Yutai civilization. The population density is extremely high, with billions of people on each habitable planet. If you can create some natural disaster and kill dozens or millions of people in minutes, don't be too happy. This profit ratio is higher than simply destroying battleships. This is also the reason why the different space battlefield, where habitable planets are encountered, is called the golden copy. The only pity is that the universe is so big, but the proportion of habitable planets is not high. The chance of encountering habitable planets in the alien space battlefield is even lower, not even 1 in 1,000 miles. That was exclusive to certain legendary European emperor captains. As for habitable planets with high population density, they are only 1 in 100,000. If they can be encountered, the captain will have a big banquet after returning to prevent his character from being compromised. In front of Wang Dong, there are 3 habitable planets with high population density. Speaking of them, it is enough to make countless captains jealous enough to want to kill people. It should be said that Wang Dong got a big gift package in this different space battlefield. Just 10 minutes later, the ship's optical brain mapped three three-dimensional holograms, corresponding to 3 habitable planets, and marked nodes one by one that could cause mass casualties. Wang Dong took a brief look at super-large water conservancy facilities, flammable and explosive facilities in super-large cities, nuclear power plants near densely populated areas, super-large active volcanoes on the seabed that can be detonated. Supervillains in movies. Wang Dong suddenly became aware. Fortunately, the appearance of this alien civilization is so unfair. Naturally, Wang Dong can also see the racial image of Yutai civilization. Similar to a gorilla wearing clothes, it has nothing to do with the word human. Wang Dong felt that if the opponent had a similar shape to a human being, he would hesitate for a while before choosing this massacre mode. It's a pity that the supplies on the Tomahawk are a bit poor. Wang Dong sighed with emotion. The beginning is always so difficult, the conditions are limited, and there is nothing we can do. In a blink of an eye, Wang Dong made a rough plan. Of course, the battlefield is changing rapidly, and the specific implementation depends on the evolution of the situation. Each different space battlefield can only last for 24 hours. When the time is up, the fire battleship will be expelled back to the universe. With only more than 20 hours left, Wang Dong did not hesitate. According to the markings given by the ship's optical computer, Wang Dong set the starting point of the operation on the 4th planet of the Yutai galaxy. This habitable planet has a population of 6.8 billion, 4 very large cities with a population of more than 100 million, and 3 very large water conservancy facilities with a total of 15 nodes to choose from. The next progress was quite smooth. Relying on the concealment effect of the Mirage system, the Tomahawk easily avoided the patrol fleets cruising in the galaxy and sneaked into the target planet silently. First, use the main gun to bombard flammable and explosive pipelines and warehouses in several very large cities, then use the secondary artillery to destroy the city's main firefighting force, and finally carry out demolition operations on very large water conservancy facilities. A set of 3, natural disasters come, series, and in just 1 hour, 4 large cities on the planet were engulfed in flames. The destruction of 3 super-large water conservancy facilities caused huge floods, water and fire disasters, raging across the planet. By consuming only 17 rounds of main gun ammunition and 36 rounds of secondary gun ammunition, the Tomahawk gained 282 source points. This means that tens of millions of members of the Yutai civilization have died in man-made disasters. Just because of Tomahawk's 25% source point acquisition rate, the total income was discounted in half and then in half. The inheritance tax of the fire battleship is so terrifying. And this is just the beginning. The disaster of water and fire cannot be quelled in the short term, and the number of casualties is still rising sharply. As time went on, the source points of Tomahawk's harvest continued to grow. Main gun ammunition remaining, 106 rounds, secondary battery ammunition remaining, 1976, remaining source points, 354. Unfortunately, there are only 24 hours. After exiting the different space, subsequent casualties will no longer be recorded in the record, and there will be no source points to obtain. Wang Dong has some regrets. Such disasters like floods and fires often last far longer than 24 hours. Flood disasters, in particular, are mostly at the back, with the main impact being lasting. After all, floods take time to flow. Ignoring the Yutai civilization that had already reacted, the Tomahawk quickly left the 4th planet and flew to another nearby habitable planet. There are only 2 very large cities on this planet with a population of more than 100 million people, but there are 12 cities with a population of 70 to 100 million people. Although the population losses caused by destroying super-large water conservancy facilities are also huge, the results are slow. Wang Dong used a more direct method this time, fire. Due to the large number of cities, Wang Dong spent 2 hours on the second habitable planet, consuming 21 rounds of main gun ammunition, 56 rounds of secondary gun ammunition, and obtaining 352 source points. Main gun ammunition remaining, 85 rounds, secondary battery ammunition remaining, 1920, remaining source points, 736 points. The extra source points are caused by the continuous spread of fire and water disasters on the first habitable planet, causing constant casualties. At this time, the battleships in the Yitai galaxy had been mobilized and began to deploy defenses over the 3 habitable planets. When the first planet was attacked, Yitai civilization finally discovered the uninvited guest of the Tomahawk. But the mobilization and positioning of warships takes time. Moreover, the warships of a first-level interstellar civilization like the Yitai civilization can only sail in outer space and cannot conduct planetary landing operations. They can only respond passively. Wang Dong ignored it. It was not that easy for these warships to surround the Tomahawk. Of the 3 habitable planets in the Yitai galaxy, Wang Dong has visited 2, leaving only 1 planet. The warships of the Yitai civilization have completed their deployment. But the surface area of a planet is so large that hundreds of warships cannot cover it perfectly. Wang Dong did not hesitate to use his speed advantage and the protection of the energy shield to insert into the gaps in the defense network, drop the last habitable planet, and wreak havoc. The third planet has 3 very large cities with a population of more than 100 million people and 10 cities with a population of 70 to 100 million. It took an hour and a half and consumed 18 rounds of main gun ammunition and 78 rounds of secondary gun ammunition. Get source point 344 points. Main gun ammunition remaining 67 rounds, secondary battery ammunition remaining 1842, remaining source points 1133. Wang Dong's first goal has been achieved. But the killing will not stop. The fleet of Yitai civilization has completed the defense of 3 habitable planets. But this is of no use. On average, there are only more than 700 battleships in the sky above each habitable planet, which cannot resist the sharp breakthrough of the Tomahawk. The main gun opened the way, and in 10 minutes, with the auxiliary aiming of the ship's optical brain and survey radar, 10 guns sank 10 warships, and the secondary battery fired 120 rounds, sinking 21 warships. Without Mie particles, a battlefield killer, the Tomahawk could easily achieve a very high artillery hit rate. The fire control system on the battleship of the Yitai civilization is far inferior to that of the Tomahawk. At ultra-long distances, the hit rate is pitifully low. Occasionally 2 hits would only cause a little ripple on the Tomahawk's energy shield, causing it to lose some durability. And these durability levels are being restored all the time. After standing out from the thin encirclement net, Wang Dong then commanded the Tomahawk, fought back, and returned to the first planet again. The Tomahawk's first attack was mainly to create disaster. The destruction and killing of disasters is a continuous process, so the sooner the better. Walk through the 3 planets first. What follows is the process of adding insult to injury. The main goal is to facilitate the process of disaster spread that may be mitigated. It took an hour to add insult to injury, consume 17 rounds of main gun ammunition, 90 rounds of secondary gun ammunition, and obtained 145 source points. Main gun ammunition remaining 50 rounds, secondary battery ammunition remaining 1752, remaining source points 1338. As the losses caused by the disaster expanded, the number of additional source points obtained by Wang Dong also increased. After the Tomahawk broke through the defense line and landed on the planet, the space battleships of the Yitai civilization could not be lowered for combat. The defense force in the planet alone could not prevent the destruction of the Tomahawk. Weapons such as missiles launched by fighter jets on the planet could not even damage the Tomahawk's armor. The Tomahawk almost hit it with the momentum of a collision, ignoring all kinds of harassment. When they gather to a certain number, they will use secondary artillery to bombard them. 1 round of bombardment will clear the area. Then Wang Dong repeated his old trick, relying on the energy shield to break into the second planet again. It took an hour, plus the 31 warships sunk when breaking through the defense line of the Yitai civilization fleet, consuming 27 rounds of main gun ammunition and 201 rounds of secondary gun ammunition, and a total of 191 source points were obtained. Main gun ammunition remaining 23 rounds, secondary battery ammunition remaining 1551, remaining source points 1595. Then came the third planet. It took an hour to sink 25 warships when breaking through the defense line of the Yitai civilization fleet. It consumed 20 rounds of main gun ammunition and 239 rounds of secondary gun ammunition, and gained a total of 151 source points. Main gun ammunition remaining 3 rounds, secondary battery ammunition remaining 1312, remaining source points 1806. Next, Wang Dong died. There are only 3 rounds of ammunition left in the main gun, so I don't dare to waste any more. Looking at the 3 habitable planets that still had a large population and the first battleship, Wang Dong was moved but unable to act. The main gun ammunition was exhausted, and there was not much ammunition left for the secondary gun. It was impossible to use up all the ammunition, and the Tomahawk would become a mere target. And it can be seen that the residents on several habitable planets have also begun to evacuate. If we force a breakthrough, the returns will be diminishing. On the planet, the cities that were severely damaged have also received organized rescue, the fires have been controlled, and the casualties have been reduced sharply. Chapter 41. Wang Dong knew that the benefits from this wave of raids had almost been maximized. 13 hours have passed since the 24-hour, different space battlefield. After 11 hours, we can leave. Facing the awaiting Yutai civilization fleet, the Tomahawk did not run rampant like it did several times before. Instead, it changed its course, avoided the orbit of the 2 military fortress-shaped planets, and slowly retreated outside the galaxy. Yutai civilization responded immediately. A large fleet composed of 5 motherships and 500 battleships swarmed out and attacked the Tomahawk. The remaining nearly 2,000 warships formed a second front behind them, advancing slowly in an arc formation. Very decisive, knowing that with the combat power displayed by the Tomahawk, the defense line composed of a small fleet cannot prevent its breakthrough. So they simply canceled the protection of the planet and used all the main force to expel and surround the Tomahawk. Quote. Wang Dong silently gave a thumbs up to the commander of Yutai civilization. Wang Dong really has no interest in getting into this dense formation. If the Tomahawk was in its heyday, it might be possible to kill him 3 times in and 3 out, at the cost of slight damage to the armor and hull structure. But now the Tomahawk has run out of ammunition and has no power to fight back. Wang Dong had no intention of starting another battle, and his gains were already huge enough. Maybe with a few more kills, he could still capture dozens of warships with the Tomahawk's high speed and the rapid fire of its secondary guns. But Wang Dong no longer takes it seriously with only a dozen or so points of income after discounts. After eating and drinking enough, you should go home and sleep. Facing the military strength of the Yutai civilization fleet, the Tomahawk's engine output slowly increased and began to increase speed. 3 hours later, the Tomahawk flew away from the Yutai galaxy. The Yutai civilization fleet stayed within the galaxy, and only sent out a few dozen warships, decorated with the Tomahawk from a distance, until they were thrown out of the radar range. There are still 8 hours left to exit the alien space, and there are no enemies around. Only then did Wang Dong relax. A first-class interstellar civilization does not have the capital to pursue the Tomahawk. As for the possibility of Yutai civilization asking for help from a more advanced interstellar civilization, there is no need to consider it in the short term. The vast sea of stars and endless distances are the biggest restrictions on all interstellar civilizations. Although the battle for more than 10 hours was not intense, because a single person operated the battleship and had to enter a high-speed human-machine data interaction mode, it still consumed a lot of Wang Dong's physical energy. The battle was finally over, and Wang Dong relaxed, feeling like he was exhausted. At the same time, there was a strong feeling of hunger in his belly. After entering the different space battlefield, he had not taken any water for more than 10 hours. Fortunately, the reserve of living supplies on the Tomahawk was quite abundant. After making a request for the ship's optical brain, a sumptuous breakfast was placed in front of Wang Dong within a few minutes. Breakfast, no problem. Wang Dong entered a different space at about 1300 on June 22, star calendar 10105. 16 hours later, the time is now around 5 o'clock on June 23, which can barely be considered breakfast time. After enjoying the sumptuous food in a leisurely manner, Wang Dong wiped his mouth and strolled into the command module. After adjusting the filtered light mode, starlight penetrated the portholes, making Wang Dong feel as if he was immersed in an ocean of stars. Raise your head slightly and close your eyes slightly. Wang Dong smiled casually. The first different space battlefield was completed half a year earlier than before the rebirth. Former enemies, the noose of fate has revealed its ferocious fangs. Are you ready? Wait patiently until the 24-hour different space battlefield ends. There are still a few hours left before the end of this different space battlefield. Wang Dong, who had nothing to do, took a turn on the tomahawk. Because he had to pretend that nothing had happened and he was just going for normal mining, he was in a hurry last time. Wang Dong was rushing to mine and did not check in detail on the ship. Although I had been with the tomahawk day and night for more than 10 years before my rebirth, I was quite familiar with it. But before was before and now is now. Instead of using the magnetic levitation disc, Wang Dong walked around the tomahawk again on foot. The USS Pond is a scout-class destroyer. The length of the ship is 323 meters, the widest part of the ship is 70 meters, and the maximum height of the ship is 75 meters. The main functional area is divided into 4 floors. There is a command cabin, several operation cabins, dozens of crew cabins, a medical cabin, a passenger cabin, and 3 stowage cabins distributed in different locations on the ship. There are also more than 20 functional cabins such as entertainment cabins, conference cabins, and spare cabins. For Wang Dong, who is currently alone, it is too vast. In fact, under normal circumstances, a fire warship cannot be successfully managed by just the captain. After finally returning to the command cabin, Wang Dong let out a sigh of satisfaction. Take stock of your harvest. Remaining source points, 1876 points. The wonderful numbers sparkled with golden light in Wang Dong's eyes. The source points have been increased from the original 12 points to 1876. An increase of 1,864 points. What is this concept? According to Wang Dong's experience before his rebirth, an ordinary fire battleship can score anywhere from dozens to hundreds of points each time on a different space battlefield. On average, the income from a different space battlefield is about 100 source points. The average return is low and you have to bear a lot of risk. Wang Dong has an auxiliary system, and the frequency of Tomahawk entering the battlefield in different spaces will be much higher than that of ordinary fire warships. Ordinary fire warships enter the battlefield in different spaces no more than twice a year on average, because signals from different spaces are difficult to capture. Wang Dong is different. With a month's buffer time for shipboard fire, Wang Dong can enter the different space battlefield up to 12 times a year. 6 times the average. With support, it is so easy to kill. Of course, this does not mean that this different space battlefield is so perfect. If it weren't for the Tomahawk's source point acquisition rate of only 25%, the number of remaining source points would be 7,456. Most of the source points obtained by the Tomahawk this time came from the elimination of members of the Yutai civilization. For every 10,000 civilization members eliminated, 1 source point will be obtained. With a source point acquisition rate of 25%, 1,681 source points were obtained, indicating that Wang Dong had just caused more than 70 million deaths in this rich galaxy with a population of tens of billions. Less than 1% of the total population. The main reason is naturally that the Tomahawk itself does not currently possess weapons of mass destruction, and its ammunition margin is seriously insufficient. As a result, they failed to seize the opportunity for such an European Qi to break out. But Wang Dong is generally satisfied. Hardware facilities are limited, this is an objective situation. After all, who would have thought that he would encounter such a big piece of fat in his first different space battlefield after rebirth? Wang Dong takes a very open view of non-war crimes. As long as he can survive in peace, Wang Dong doesn't think he will be short of things like Yuandian in the future. Besides, Wang Dong was quite surprised that the name change handling fee that was originally planned to be collected through many different space battlefields was paid in one go. Next, it's time to solve the current dilemma. The first step was to change the name of the Tomahawk. Link to the shipboard fire and choose to re-engrave the name of the battleship. It went smoothly and the order was accepted. Please enter the name of the battleship that needs to be changed. Shiguang. Wang Dong was full of ambition. Dawn heralds new life and hope. Sorry, the name you entered is already taken. Dawn Goddess. Wang Dong frowned slightly. Sorry, the name you entered exceeds the allowed length range for destroyer names. Wang Dong. I almost forgot that destroyers, as the most basic form of fire warships, are indeed a little bit discriminated against in some aspects. Again 7 or 8 names were taken. Eagle. Wang Dong was furious. Sorry, the name you entered is already taken. After racking my brains for more than a dozen names. White Crane. Wang Dong was dejected. Sorry, the name you entered is already taken. Wang Dong. Zhang. Wang Dong finally understood why most of the fire warships he had come into contact with, whether it was Yuan Shu's, Tomahawk, or the Jin family's, Scudder, Little Knife, Long Knife, names such as Da Dao Hao, seemed so substandard. Reality is not a novel. The name of the supporting actor doesn't matter. You can choose whatever cat or dog you want. In reality, every fire warship is the captain's treasure. And how can it be easy for someone to become a captain? The name of his battleship must be chosen carefully. The reason why there are still names like Tomahawk, Ciencesa, Pocket Knife, and so on, is because the predecessors have already exhausted all the roads, leaving the younger generations with no way to go. Over the past 10,000 years, human civilization has built countless fire warships, and the names of the warships are naturally countless. The slightly better sounding ones were used up thousands of years ago. The younger generations can only lower the standards again and again, until Wang Dong now doesn't even have names like Little Eagle and Gray Crane. Wang Dong never expected that he would be stuck in the naming process for more than an hour. After countless attempts, Wang Dong felt that his brain was turning into mush, and the words that came out of his mouth, even the subconscious pronunciation, did not pass through his mind. Lake number. Wang Dong's breath was like a gossamer. Sorry, the name you entered is already taken. Pond number. Pond number, there are no duplicate names. Are you sure? Bathtub number. Wait, no repeats. Wang Dong reacted suddenly. Bathtub number, there are no duplicate names. Are you sure? No, no, no. Wang Dong quickly objected. The pond was already tragic enough. Would it be better to replace it with a bathtub? Pond number. Wang Dong said cautiously. Pond number, there are no duplicate names. Are you sure? Sure. Wang Dong has exhausted his patience. A pond is a pond, at least one level higher than a bathtub. This operation will consume 1,000 source points. Are you sure? Confirm. Very quick answer. Dear Captain, the Tomahawk has been successfully renamed as the Pond. This change will be recorded in the voyage log. If you need to change the name of the battleship again, 2,000 source points will be consumed. Phew, it's finally done. Wang Dong raised his forehead with his hands and was very happy. Unexpectedly, he was stuck for more than an hour on what he thought was the easiest link. Wang Dong was really drunk. Squeezing his eyebrows and regaining his composure, Wang Dong started the next steps. Just changing the name is not enough to completely cover up the suspicion of the Tomahawk. No, it is the Pond now. Because the Pond was seriously damaged before and the armor on the rear of the ship was severely damaged, this feature is very obvious. Quote, you can change the name of the battleship by consuming 1,000 source points. Maybe there was a balance of more than 1,000 source points on the previous Tomahawk. Moreover, there are some special add-on modules that can also change the name of the battleship. Therefore, just changing the name of the battleship is not safe enough. Consume source points to repair the damage to the battleship. The physical structure of the fire battleship is actually not much different from that of an ordinary battleship. For example, the armor is also made of alloy, and its performance parameters are the same as those of ordinary battleships. But after these alloy armor plates are mounted on the fire battleship, their performance far exceeds that of ordinary battleships. This is because of the existence of tinder. Fire is a magical creation that can emit energy fluctuations and add bonuses to various modules of the entire battleship. The battleship is actually just a carrier, and the fire is the core soul. The so-called source point strengthening does not strengthen the battleship itself, but the shipboard fire. Normally, the corresponding module enhancement does not change the module itself, but the addition and enhancement of the shipboard fire to the module. The LV.2 main gun on the Pond, after being removed, has no performance difference from the main gun of an ordinary battleship. On the contrary, replace it with a main gun of the same specifications and install it on the Pond. With the blessing of the shipboard fire on the Tomahawk, it becomes a LV.2 level main gun. It is several % more powerful than the unstrengthened battleship's main gun. Repairing the damaged fire warship is actually not difficult. Most of the low-quality standard modules with similar technologies can be repaired in a repair shop for ordinary repairs. If the damage is serious, just replace the module with the same model, which is simple and convenient. Of course, this kind of replacement is limited to the same parts, such as the standard main gun for the standard battleship main gun, and the standard engine for the standard engine. Such low-quality modules have long been produced in a standardized manner, and even with the unique requirements of the fire warship for shipboard modules, mass production can be achieved to a certain extent. But if a different type of main gun is used, replace the original main gun. For example, a blue quality burst cannon replaces the standard main gun on the pond. Then, the enhancement level of the previous shipboard fire to the standard main gun cannot be inherited. The burst cannon must be strengthened again from LV.0. As for many shipboard modules that are not technically similar, or simply operate across civilizations, they cannot be repaired using this method. Then in emergencies or special circumstances, the fire battleship has a unique way of self-rescue. Consume source points for automatic repair. Convenient and environmentally friendly, the repair effect is pretty good. The only drawback, this kind of repair method is more expensive than Krypton gold. Source points are such precious resources. They are directly related to the growth of the fire battleship. It can be said that every point is the lifeblood of the fire battleship. As for the method of consuming source points to repair, the consumption is not just 1 or 2 points. Just like Wang Dong is doing now. Start source repair mode. The damage control situation of this ship is as follows: 38% damage to the armor and 4% damage to the hull. The schematic diagram is as follows. Please select the repair location. Quote, repair the armor on the stern of the ship. Old God Wang Dong made the request. For things like source point, if the old doesn't go away, the new won't come. Repair the stern armor. The armor damage degree of this part is 90%, accounting for 10% of the overall armor. The armor enhancement level of this ship is LV.1. This repair requires 200*10% *90% equals 18 source points, and the repair time is 18 minutes. Please note that during the repair, the armor module will not function properly. Quote, although he was mentally prepared, Wang Dong still frowned slightly. This kind of repair is calculated based on the product of the upgrade cost of the repaired module and the proportion of the repaired part. Pond's armor is LV.1 level, green quality, and it costs 200 source points to upgrade from LV.0 to LV.1. The proportion of the battleship's stern armor to the battleship's total armor is 10%, while the damage rate of the Pond's stern armor is 90%. Multiply the 3, and finally get 18 points of data. If you repair the entire ship's armor, it will be equivalent to upgrading and strengthening the armor module once again. But this loss is understandable. After all, it is a change that directly affects the material level, so it is normal to consume a lot. But compared with in-factory repairs, the price-performance ratio is much lower. For maintenance, all that is needed is currency circulating among the civilian class, and high and precious resources like source point are not needed. You have to repair it even if you can't afford it. Okay, fix. It is necessary to make up for this flaw. Wang Dong did not dare to let Pond know enter any repair shop for repairs, because such a perfect damage could easily arouse suspicion, and Wang Dong could not withstand suspicion. Confirm the repair, consume 18 source points, and take 36 minutes. Start repair, countdown. Remaining source points, 846. The name has been changed, the damage has been repaired, and the 2 major flaws have disappeared, but it can only avoid the most cursory screening. Wang Dong's thinking is very clear. Once the name, Tomahawk, came out, it was absolutely exposed. Once the damage to the ship's stern armor is discovered, there is a serious suspicion that it will be exposed in all likelihood. The intact Pond will not be exposed immediately, but there are still suspicions. If the first round of large-scale searches fails to find the wreck of the Tomahawk, then the next step of the search will be more rigorous. Whether it is the Jin family or the local forces in the Mining Star region. Even the other hyenas came after hearing the news. In view of his status as an ordinary miner, Wang Dong could not explain where his ownership of the pond came from, so Wang Dong and the pond were still not out of danger. Fortunately, the number of source points harvested this time far exceeded Wang Dong's expectations and was enough to implement the ultimate plan. While thinking, the armor on the stern of the ship has also been repaired. However, Wang Dong did not choose to upgrade the armor immediately, but issued an order to continue repairs. Repair the entire ship's armor. The original intention of repairing the stern armor was naturally to give the pond a new look, because in the hands of Yuan Shu, the original Tomahawk had many battles with Jin family warships, and the hull armor was damaged in many places. Some are particularly serious and have obvious characteristics. However, the repair of the stern armor does not mean that the pond can completely complete the facelift effect, because the damaged parts of other parts of the armor may still be discovered by interested parties through image comparison. Although the pond has just experienced another battle with the Yutai civilization, and also suffered some minor attacks, which caused the original traces to be covered up a lot, the traces produced by the battle with the Yutai civilization are also. It belongs to the content that Wang Dong should cover up. Therefore, it was a bit hasty to just issue an order to repair the stern armor. Wang Dong noticed this flaw in time and corrected it immediately. Repair the entire ship's armor. This repair requires 29 source points and the repair time is 29 minutes. It took a little less time than the previous repair. The severity of damage varies. The armor on the stern part of the ship was severely damaged, and the difference from the minor damage on other parts was obvious. After a while, the armor module of the pond has been repaired, and there are no traces of the previous battle. The effect of the source point is quite magical and powerful. Upgrade the armor from LV.1 to LV.2. After confirming that the entire ship's armor had been repaired, Wang Dong issued the upgrade order. It consumes 200 source points and 20 tons of titanium ore to strengthen the standard armor, green LV.1 to LV.2. It takes 1 hour. Are you sure? Sure. This low-quality ship-based module and the auxiliary materials required for upgrading are relatively common and can be mined in the asteroid belt mining area in the mining area. Wang Dong has collected a certain amount of storage during the mining process. Source points remaining, 617. The time consumed to strengthen the shipboard module is related to its strengthening level. From LV.1 to LV.2, it only takes 1 hour. From LV.2 to LV.3, it takes 2 hours. Time passed quickly. The standard armor, green LV.2, has been upgraded. The current attributes are as follows. Defense strength, 13, material, alloy, defense attributes, kinetic energy 13%, particles 13%, laser 13%, mystery 0. Required conditions for upgrading. 1. 200 source points. 2. 25 tons of titanium ore. Quote. Has not changed much. Green quality ship-based modules require 200 source points for each upgrade. This has not changed. It's just that the demand for auxiliary materials has increased. Wang Dong looked at the time and saw that in about 5 hours, this different space battlefield would be over. There is still plenty of time. Upgrade the survey radar from LV.1 to LV.2. It consumes 100 source points and 3 tons of Austrian copper ore to enhance the standard survey radar LV.1 to LV.2. It takes 1 hour. Are you sure? Sure. Strengthening begins. Countdown. Remaining source points, 517. Continue waiting. The standard survey radar LV.2 has been upgraded. Its current attributes are as follows. Exploration range, 11. Accuracy, 11. Required conditions for upgrading. 1. 100 source points. 2. 3 tons of Austrian copper ore. Quote. There is no quality module, and each upgrade only consumes 100 source points. It's very cheap, but has low growth potential and limited potential. Every time you strengthen an upgrade, the degree of attribute improvement is very low. As long as there is a choice, ordinary fire warships will not consume precious source points on such low-quality modules. Compared with non-quality modules, the improvement potential of green-quality modules is higher. Compare the two modules that Wang Dong just upgraded. Green-quality armor module. After upgrade, the defense strength and defense attributes are increased by 2 units. As for the low-quality survey radar, after upgrading, the exploration range and accuracy will only increase by 1 unit. The difference is obvious. When Wang Dong issued strengthening instructions several times just now, the auxiliary system in his mind would pop up prompts simultaneously. Do you want to consume 1 unit of low-level energy crystal to double the module's growth value? Wang Dong chose no, indifferently. This is the second optional function that appears after the auxiliary system is activated. Module growth value is doubled. Depending on the quality of the enhanced upgrade module, corresponding energy crystals are consumed, doubling the module's growth value. If you select yes, then after upgrading the green quality armor module just now, the defense strength and defense attributes will be increased by 4 units. Even if a non-quality survey radar is upgraded, the exploration range and accuracy will increase by 2 units, which is equivalent to the growth rate of green quality. There is a reason why Wang Dong did not choose to enable the optional function of the auxiliary system at this time. On the one hand, it is naturally because the number of low-level energy crystals is insufficient, with only 2 units. On the other hand, in this life, Wang Dong does not want to be bound to the Tomahawk, which is now the Pond. The Pond is only a 3rd-generation ship with seriously insufficient growth potential. The quality itself is not high either. There was really nothing he could do before his rebirth. After his rebirth, Wang Dong already had higher requirements for ships. The Pond number can only serve as a transition. There is no need to waste energy crystals on it. Regarding how to deal with the Pond number, Wang Dong has set up a plan since his rebirth. First of all, the Pond, the original Tomahawk, must be obtained first. Although the Tomahawk will bring a series of troubles, especially the pursuit of the Jin family. But the 3 additional modules such as the Mirage system are a temptation that Wang Dong can't let go of. Secondly, after inheriting the Tomahawk from Yuan Shu, Wang Dong had a bottom line in his heart. That means you must never reveal your identity. If this limit cannot be achieved, Wang Dong will resolutely give up the Tomahawk. Wang Dong is not an ordinary passionate young man, but he can still tell the difference between life and wealth. Of course, before giving up the Tomahawk, Wang Dong would first remove and hide several additional modules on the Tomahawk. And things developed far more smoothly than expected. After obtaining enough source points through many different space battlefields, repair the hull and rename the warship, which must be completed. Due to the buffer time limit of shipboard fire, every time you enter a different space battlefield, it will take at least a month before you can cross time and space again and enter a different space battlefield. It was originally expected that this process would take several months. But because of Yutai civilization's dedication, Wang Dong only spent a few days to complete this goal. After the armor and survey radar modules were strengthened and upgraded to LV.2, the Pond's main gun, armor, engine, and survey radar standard modules have all reached the LV.2 level. At the same time, the comprehensive combat power evaluation level of Pond has also risen to LV.7. The basic public information of the battleship will also be changed from the original Scouter-class destroyer USS Tomahawk LV.6 inches to Scouter-class destroyer USS Pond LV.7 inches. It's safe enough now. Compared with the Pond, which has an overall evaluation of LV.7, and the Tomahawk, which has an overall evaluation of LV.6, they are completely 2 battleships. Just now, Wang Dong spent a full 1,300 source points to change the name and strengthen the battleship module to transform the Tomahawk into the Pond. 1,300 source points, based on the average rate at which a normal fire warship obtains source points, means a span of at least several decades of effort. Relying on this change, Wang Dong finally succeeded in drawing a deep enough boundary between the Pond and the original Tomahawk. A line that will take at least decades to cross. The Pond, at this moment, after returning to this universe, will no longer be directly associated with the Tomahawk. There is still a lot of leftover source points, enough to strengthen a certain standard module on the Pond once or twice. But Wang Dong did not continue to strengthen the standard modules, but turned his attention to additional modules. Whether it is the remote control function of the quantum entangled brainwave manipulation system or the super concealment function of the Mirage system, they are irreplaceable for Wang Dong at this stage. Therefore, it is more valuable to spend the source points on these 2 modules first. The Pond, with a comprehensive combat power rating of LV.7, is already sufficient for use in the current alien space battlefield. After the comprehensive evaluation level of the fire warship exceeds LV.10, the opponents in the different space battlefield will no longer be fat first-level interstellar civilizations. On the contrary, there is even a chance of encountering a third-level interstellar civilization. To be on the safe side, he decided not to further improve the overall evaluation level of pond for the time being. Anyway, the next thing to do is to hide carefully instead of jumping out and facing the hard steel. Upgrading the quantum entangled brainwave manipulation system from LV.0 to LV.1. It consumes 200 source points and 1 ton of gas ore. It will take 30 minutes to strengthen the quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system, green, LV.0 to LV.1. Are you sure? Sure. Remaining source points, 317. Do you want to consume 1 unit of low-level energy crystal to double the module's growth value? This time, Wang Dong chose yes. Immediately, the only 2 units of low-level energy crystals on hand were half consumed again. The quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system, green, LV.1, has been upgraded. The current attributes are as follows. Energy consumption, 1 point per hour, range of action, 0.05 light-years. Required conditions for upgrading. 1. 200 source points. 2. 2 tons of gas ore. Quote. The range of action has been increased by 0.04 light-years. If the double growth value of the auxiliary system is deducted, then under normal circumstances, the scope of this enhancement and improvement will be 0.02 light-years. The enhancement of the additional modules is obviously greater than that of the standard modules. This is one of the reasons why Wang Dong pays more attention to add-on modules. Higher potential for growth. Coupled with the auxiliary system, just one enhancement directly increases the scope of the quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system to 5 times the original. So scary. This is the correct way to open a hanging. Rather than being like before rebirth, being hammered to death by life before it had time to develop. The LV.0 level quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system has a range of only 0.01 light-years. This distance is too short. Whether now or in the near future, it is foreseeable that Wang Dong will not be able to move freely in the Blackstone Barony where he will go in the short term. For the pond, Moore can only use remote control mode. Therefore, the control distance is naturally as far as possible, so that Pond No can have more choices. Not to mention that far away, but right now, a large number of spacecraft have probably gathered in the airspace in the mining area to search for the whereabouts of the Tomahawk. The distance of 0.01 light-years is completely insufficient for Wang Dong. A distance of 0.05 light-years is still not that interesting. Upgrading the quantum entangled brainwave manipulation system from LV.1 to LV.2. As we all know, men cannot be short and weak. Short comes first. Looking at the source point and the gas mines in the cargo hold was enough. Wang Dong continued to strengthen the quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system without hesitation. It consumes 200 source points and 2 tons of gas ore. It takes 1 hour to strengthen the quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system, green, LV.1 to LV.2. Are you sure? Sure. Source points remaining, 117. Do you want to consume 1 unit of low-level energy crystal to double the module's growth value? Wang Dong still chooses yes. So the last unit of low-level energy crystals on hand was fed into the system. The quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system, green, LV.2, has been upgraded. The current attributes are as follows. Energy consumption, 1 point per hour, range of action, 0.09 light-years. Required conditions for upgrading. 1. 200 source points. 2. 3 tons of gas ore. Quote. The range of action increased again by 0.04 light-years to 0.09 light-years. Compared with LV.0, it is 9 times the original. This time it is no longer considered short. The source point on the pond is no longer enough to continue to improve the green quality of the quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system. The low-level energy crystals on hand were also consumed. Look at the time, the different space battlefield is about to end. After a day of mining and a day of hard work, Wang Dong was already quite tired. After all, it is a body that has not undergone physical training, so both energy and physical strength are quite limited. The Mirage system is not activated. The buffer time of the Mirage system is 24 hours, which is equivalent to the duration of the alien space battlefield. Wang Dong turned on the Mirage system before entering the alien space battlefield, but the buffer time starts when the warship exits the hidden state. Therefore, the buffering is still almost complete at this time. Otherwise, being able to remain hidden and then exiting the battlefield in another space will make it even more hidden. After increasing the enhancement level, this buffer time will be reduced. But Wang Dong is not worried. With the original Tomahawk completely transformed into the Pond, with a different appearance, name, and comprehensive combat power evaluation level, the insecurity that has always lingered in Wang Dong's mind has faded away. A lot. Even if the Pond cannot remain hidden, it will be no big deal if it is exposed to the public. The only thing Wang Dong needs to cover up is his identity as the captain of the Pond. He is a cautious person by nature. Before rebirth, it was because of his inexperience and some objective reasons that his identity was exposed. After rebirth, he became more cautious and took every step carefully. So far, so good. Soon, the 24-hour duration of the alien space battlefield also came to an end. There was nothing unusual, and the figure of Pond quickly faded in the different space. The dizziness hit again, and the next moment, the Pond appeared quietly in this universe. Just like when he left, there was no sound. As soon as he recovered from the dizziness, Wang Dong began to inquire about the situation of Pond number. The location is not far from the previous entry point. After exiting the different space battlefield, the location you appear will generally be near the entry point, but it will not be exactly the same. Scout Class Destroyer LV.7 Pond. Standard Main Gun Green LV.2 Standard Armor Green LV.2 Standard Engine LV.2 Standard Survey Radar LV.2 Standard Energy Shield LV.2 Standard Hull Structure Green LV.0 Shipboard Fire Status. Buffering 696 hours. Auxiliary Modules. Feiju Jump Device Purple Quantum Entanglement Brainwave Manipulation System Green LV.2 Mirage System Gold LV.0 Remaining Source Points 117. Source Point Acquisition Rate 25%. Main Gun Ammunition remaining 3 rounds. Secondary Battery Ammunition remaining 1312. Energy remaining 987. Living Material remaining 392 units. Armor Damage 0%. Hull Damage 0%. The armor damage has been completely repaired, and the hull damage is caused by the fire warship's own repair. Under normal circumstances, the damage to the hull of the fire warship will gradually recover over time. This is one of the differences between the fire warship and ordinary warships. What does it mean to be durable and exceptionally long-lasting? This is. Then, Wang Dong first connected the micro-detector left behind before entering the battlefield in the different space. Check out the video. No other spaceship or warship has approached, and nothing unusual has happened. Pond continued to remain silent, and after a period of time, no abnormal signal was received. Alert lifted. Wang Dong then piloted the mining spacecraft and left the pond. Restore your identity as a miner again. Focus on mining. By the way, search for traces of energy crystals. One of the 3 units of low-level energy crystals originally obtained has been consumed by the auxiliary system when it captured the signal from another space. The remaining 2 units of low-level energy crystals are used to strengthen the doubling function of the quantum entanglement brainwave manipulation system. It's all consumed. After more than 10 hours of searching, Wang Dong found nothing. The existence of energy crystals depends on appearance after all. Just putting in the effort may not always result in gain. This is often the case in the world. Wang Dong originally just wanted to let nature take its course and was not in a hurry. It is different from being forced to stand on the front desk and face the storm before rebirth. Now, he has successfully hidden himself behind the scenes, so he has plenty of time. Low-level energy crystals still circulate in small amounts in places like the mining star field. If it were just 1 or 2 units, Wang Dong would not arouse any suspicion if he bought them. Who doesn't have a little collecting habit? Return voyage. Deliver the collected minerals. Wang Dong returned home to rest. The next day, I went to Maizu Internet Cafe again. The daily life of an ordinary interstellar miner. JPG. Wang Dong's role play is perfect. At the same time, after many days of searching, no trace of the tomahawk was found on the Jin family battleship. Xiao Lu, why are you here? Sima Disao, who had sinister features, stared closely at the young man on the virtual screen and asked angrily. Brother 13, aren't I afraid that Yuan Shu's desperate dog will sink his boat and try to counterattack and trick you? The young man looks decent, but he speaks in a strange manner. The corners of Sima Disao's eyes twitched slightly. He suppressed the anger in his heart and said in a deep voice, Yuan Shu has fallen into my trap and suffered fatal injuries, how can he still have the strength to fight back? I appreciate the kindness of my 16th brother and I will definitely repay it in the future. The next step is just a simple search. I can do it by myself. Please ask brother 16 to go back first. Quote. Ha ha ha, brother 13, if things really go as smoothly as you said, you don't need to work so hard that you waste time in this asteroid belt mining area. The rabbit bites people when it is anxious, not to mention Yuan Shu's tomahawk has been on the family's reward list for many years. Let me help you. Quote. The young man didn't mind Sima Disao's anger and continued leisurely. Sima Delang, don't think that just because you are assigned to a LV.12 destroyer, you can challenge your brothers. Let me tell you, you are too naive. Quote. Sima Disao could no longer suppress the anger in his heart and said angrily. If you want to pick peaches, you have to see if you have the ability. Combat can't be decided by just comparing the overall combat power evaluation level. You'd better learn a few more years in virtual battles. The targets of the family's reward are the tomahawk and Yuan Shu, but no matter who strikes first. As long as the tomahawk can be found first, the family's reward this time belongs to me, Sima Delang. Sima Delang's laughter was full of ridicule and naked contempt. Sima Disao, to give you face, I call you brother 13, but if I don't give you face, who are you? It's just a matter of relying on nepotism to get along with the direct descendants. Do you really think of yourself as a direct descendant? Just you still want to tell me that there will be consequences. It made me laugh so hard, ha 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 ha. Sima Disao bit his gums tightly. Sima Disao had long disliked his cousin Sima Delang, who was also ranked 16th in the generation with the word, virtue. When Sima Disao came of age, the choice given by his family was a LV.9 second-generation fire warship or a first-generation fire warship. If Sima Disao had enough family background and resources, a first-generation fire warship would be the best choice. However, just as Sima Delang laughed at, Sima Disao became a direct descendant of the Jin family, relying on his mother's bedside style after remarrying. Therefore, an LV.9 fire battleship that could save him decades of struggle became his first choice. Over the next 10 years or so, Sima Disao seized the opportunity and worked hard to raise the ship's comprehensive combat power rating to LV.11. But Sima Delang, what the hell? He is just a playboy, but relying on his good family background, he bought a LV.12 second-generation fire battleship as soon as he came of age. This is a tool ship specially prepared for people to practice their skills. How can this be called Simada's behavior? Don't underestimate the gap between LV.9 and LV.12. This means that the gap of 1,000 source points will take 20 years to make up. What's more, this time Sima Delang chased Sima Disao and rushed to this remote mining galaxy, obviously here to pick peaches. That's all. Competition is everywhere among the Jin family's children, and Sima Disao has also picked other people's peaches. The most important thing is that Sima Delang, a playboy, has no shortage of resources. There is no shortage of achievements in bounty missions, nor real resources. He was simply looking for trouble with Sima Disao. It harms others but does not benefit oneself. Sima Disao could no longer suppress his emotions. Although Sima Delang's status was noble, he, Sima Disao, was also among his direct descendants. If there is not enough counterattack, not to mention that everyone will step on him after he loses his reputation. Just the strange looks from the crew members in the command cabin can make Sima Disao sleepless. On the contrary, if Sima Delang's arrogance can be suppressed, Sima Disao's status will be significantly improved. At least among his peers, he is worthy of no one. Sima Delang, my dear 16th brother, don't be too proud. Yuan Shu's tomahawk is probably hidden in this asteroid belt. Yuan Shu is dead, but the Tomahawk is not necessarily an empty ship. The astronomical environment here is too complex, which is suitable for Tomahawk to take advantage of. Brother 16, don't make a mistake and be killed by the Tomahawk. You know, in this asteroid belt, even if the battleship is sunk, the distress signal may not be able to be sent out. Quote. Sima Disao restrained his anger and spoke in a gloomy tone. Sima Delang didn't mind the murderous intention contained in it, grinning and said, I have wanted to see how capable 13th brother, nicknamed Mad Dog, is for a long time. Don't let me down. Sima Disao snorted coldly and cut off the communication. He had coveted the special module rumored on the Tomahawk for a long time. How could he allow Sima Delang to interfere with it? But it's just a matter of seeing the real chapter. Turning his head, he told the communications officer, contact Zongda and ask him where he is. Why is he coming so much slower than Sima Delang? You're just dawdling, do you think it's a spring outing? The communications officer hurriedly responded. Sima Disao was obviously angry, and he did not dare to explain on his behalf. Sima Delang's was a fire warship, while Sima Zongda's was just an ordinary reconnaissance ship, so it couldn't outdo others. Wang Dong knew nothing about the conflicts among the Jin family's children. But whether it is Sima Delang or Sima Zongda, Wang Dong is no stranger. In the previous life, after setting a trap to sink Sima Disao's battleship, Wang Dong directly faced Sima Delang and Sima Zongda. Sima Delang's unscrupulousness and Sima Zongda's careful thinking both brought a lot of trouble to Wang Dong. This time, Mining Planet, Maizu Internet Cafe. Open the Kunpeng live broadcast platform. In the access cabin of Maizu Internet Cafe, Wang Dong calmly gave instructions. What is a star network? It is a network that connects the entire star field. It is realized through quantum communication technology. The cost is not low. It can only be used in places with specialized equipment like Maizu Internet Cafe. Wang Dong's home optical computer can also be connected to the internet, but it is connected to the local area network of the mining area star area. If you want to activate the star area network function, you have to pay an additional high fee and purchase a special access cabin. As a result, Wang Dong can only watch live broadcast platforms like the Kunpeng live broadcast platform, built on the star network and covering most of the territory of the Bohemia Kingdom. As for the Plantagenet Federation, I'm sorry, but they use the Plantagenet Federation's star network, which is not interoperable with the Bohemia Kingdom's network. Political factors are normal. After issuing the command, Wang Dong's perspective changed again. The starlight in the sky dimmed, and a small black hole appeared in front of it. A giant whale was pulled by the gravity of the black hole and struggled hard. The gravitational pull of the black hole is too great, easily distorting the protective force field around the giant whale. I saw the giant whale being pulled step by step deeper into the black hole. Suddenly, a ball of milky white light erupted from the giant whale's body. Milky white light instantly enveloped the giant whale's body. The next moment, the light bloomed, and a huge rock bird spread its wings and soared. It easily broke away from the black hole's gravitational field, spread its wings, and appeared in front of Wang Dong across a distance measured in light years. Wang Dong boarded the bird's wings, which were as broad as a continent, and the bird jumped again, instantly taking Wang Dong to the sky. Kunpeng spreads its wings and travels across the 9 heavens. Welcome to the Kunpeng live broadcast platform, dear Mr. Hanfang. You have not logged into this platform for 28 days. Welcome back again. In Wang Dong's field of vision, the 410 galaxies in the Bohemia Kingdom are all displayed in the form of thumbnail galaxy maps. Wherever the sight goes, the corresponding galaxy map will be enlarged to the center of the field of view, and all the planets in the galaxy will also display their data cards one by one. Please select the galaxy or planet you want to go to. If you need a recommendation, please state the corresponding range. For example, I want to see a young lady. Wang Dong. Brother Kunpeng, you are so stupid, you actually changed the version like this. What about the peaceful live broadcast and peaceful society that was promised, was it swallowed by a black hole? Naturally, Wang Dong would not choose any brand of young ladies, although he admitted that he was a little itchy. Go to the Glory Battleship Expo. The thumbnail of the capital galaxy jumped to Wang Dong's eyes, and then a huge space station came into view in the outermost orbit of the galaxy. Dear Mr. Hanfang, Due to your authority, only some areas of the Honor Battleship Expo are open. We apologize for the inconvenience caused to you. Wang Dong was not surprised that some of the content in the Honor Battleship Expo related to military secrets. The Amethyst Kingdom's Glory Battleship Expo is quite famous in the nearby star fields. It was established personally by a certain king of the Bohemia Kingdom. The king was a battleship fan. He used the power of the kingdom to collect information on many battleships and build virtual models. The information in the Battleship Expo even includes the super-large deep space carrier used by the Seed Fleet, the ancestor of human civilization, during its long voyages. It is not ruled out that there are elements of exaggerated propaganda, but this is the place that Wang Dong has access to that has the most complete information. The universe is infinitely vast. Even if the speed of a battleship can reach the speed of light, it is far from enough. For this reason, various interstellar-level civilizations in the starry sky have invented interstellar movement technologies based on their own civilization's path. Such as space distortion, curvature navigation, wormhole generator, stellar gravity well jump, forward and reverse space travel, etc. There are 5.6 billion civilizations and 5.6 billion flowers, countless. Of course, the above-mentioned high-end technologies are basically in the hands of high-level interstellar civilizations. A few of them even rely on their own racial talent trees and have little to do with human civilization. The original human civilization, after several technological explosions, finally unlocked nuclear fusion technology, lit up the polymer-level material technology tree, and burst into the starry sky with a majestic attitude, becoming a first-class interstellar civilization. After relying on mushroom bombs to successfully bully a nearby new first-class interstellar civilization that had also just stepped out of the planet, human civilization expanded. Adopting the big ship plus mushrooms approach, human civilization has successfully controlled the star field centered on the solar system and within 10 light-years of the surrounding area. At that time, human civilization broke through the limitations of the planet and had the ability to obtain resources in the universe, so a massive amount of resources poured into Aquamarine. The Aqua Blue Star Mother, who had been squeezed out of poverty by the children, was instantly full and full. The entire human civilization is booming, and with the massive supply of materials, a new round of technological explosion has begun. Deep Space Jump appears. Although Deep Space Jump has many shortcomings, such as the inability to accurately control the jump point and jump distance. But this is a super light navigation technology after all. There is an essential difference between having it and not having it. A first-level interstellar civilization has developed the super light-speed interstellar movement technology that only level 4 and above interstellar civilizations have. It's a miracle, a true miracle. After mastering the deep space jump, human civilization continued to expand. A first-level interstellar civilization can actually enjoy the benefits of a fourth-level interstellar civilization in advance. This is the rhythm of luck comes with it, so what else do you need to be polite about? As warships were launched one after another, human civilization began to engage in military warfare and conquer the world. In just a few hundred years, the territory of civilization expanded from a radius of 10 light-years to dozens of light-years, and this range is still expanding. Then, I met a pioneering team of the Kimura civilization. Destroy it. The hornet's nest has been poked. Kimura civilization is a collective name. There are more than 600 interstellar-level civilizations in the entire Kimura supergalaxy, and the relationships between them are intricate. The pioneer fleet that was sunk by the Aquamarine Human Civilization Advance Team belonged to the first-level interstellar civilization, a member of the Kimura civilization, and another subordinate civilization of the third-level Kimura civilization. People are looking for parents. This third-level interstellar civilization is not interested in the loss of the pioneer fleet affiliated to a mere first-level interstellar civilization, but it is very interested in the Aquablue Star civilization, which is also a first-level interstellar civilization. A first-class interstellar civilization can actually control the airspace of dozens of light-years. What kind of situation is this? Undoubtedly mastering some kind of faster-than-light navigation technology. The rhythm of pie in the sky. This level 3 interstellar civilization has been stuck on the level 3 inches threshold for tens of thousands of years. The only problem it lacks is a superlight level interstellar movement technology. There's no need to say anything, just raise a legion and go on an expedition to Aquamarine. In AD 3998, the war between the Aquamarine Federation and the Camorra civilization ended, and the Aquamarine civilization was defeated. Then there was the Seed Fleet, then there was this human civilization hundreds of millions of light years away, then there was the Bohemia Kingdom, and then there was Wong Dong. Wong Dong. Haha. The electronic data images displayed in the Glory Battleship exhibition hall include the ultra-large deep space carrier used by the Seed Fleet during its voyages. This ultra-large deep space carrier is as big as a city and carries millions of people. Not only does it have a complete recycling ecosystem inside, which can carry out large-scale planting and breeding operations, it is also equipped with the super-large Guangzhou, newly developed by the Aqualan Star Civilization during the 100 Years' War with the third-level Camorra Interstellar Civilization. Domain Deep Space Jump System. After charging, the super-large, wide-area deep space jump system can perform wide-area, ultra-long-range random space jumps. It's the kind of space jump whose endpoint cannot be determined. The wide-area ultra-long-range random space jump is another breakthrough of the Aquablue Star Civilization in the deep space jump technology. Humans call random deep space jumps with speeds exceeding 10,000 times the speed of light and jump distances exceeding 10,000 light-years, wide-area ultra-long-range random space jumps. Although it is still not possible to precisely control the precise landing point of the jump, this deep space jump evolved version of the technology has in some aspects surpassed the super light level interstellar movement technology of most sixth-level civilizations. Quote. It's a black technology. Unfortunately, apart from being used to escape, this technology has little value at all. After all, there is no way to control the endpoint of the jump. Every jump is to a strange star field tens of thousands of light years away. Star Trek is a done deal. Once you jump out, except for Ohuang, there is basically no plan to go back in this life. The Aquablue Star Civilization was ultimately defeated. However, a total of 3,108 seed fleets have basically successfully escaped the encirclement of the Camorra civilization by relying on the wide-area, ultra-long-range random space jumps of the super-large deep space carrier. The seeds of Aquamarine civilization are scattered throughout the universe. Some may die prematurely before taking root due to various reasons. But most civilization seeds have found suitable star fields and continue to expand human civilization. The Aquablue Star Civilization successfully unlocked the cosmic seed spreading achievement. Today, 10,000 years later, through the Kunpeng live broadcast platform, Wong Dong was able to get a glimpse of this ultra-large deep space carrier, which has only one in each civilization seed fleet. After thousands of years of time, this deep space mothership has long since decayed. It is said that the main body of the mothership is currently stored in the People's Heroes Memorial Square on Chang'an, the capital of the Tiantang Empire. The Glory Battleship exhibition hall contains a complete set of electronic data models of the ultra-large deep space carrier. With a complete set of electronic data models, you can have a more comprehensive and in-depth understanding of this deep space carrier that integrates the most cutting-edge technology of the old Aquablue Star Civilization. Just like what Wong Dong is doing now. Apply to visit the super-large deep space carrier. Request accepted. Data loading. Loaded successfully. The next moment, Wong Dong had landed in a spacious command cabin. Compared with the destroyer's command cabin, it was as different as a villa and a thatched house. Voyage into deep space, rebuild our homeland, and the fire of civilization will never be extinguished. The super-large deep space carrier of Aquablue Star Civilization, numbered 099, welcomes you. Quote. A soft electronic female voice sounded. Wong Dong took a deep breath. Although it is not the first time to visit this mothership. But every time he hears this welcome speech, Wong Dong will deeply feel the despair of losing his home and the hope of rebuilding civilization. Facing the confusion of the unknown journey and the pressure of the heavy responsibility, the kind of passion that brings all kinds of emotions together without looking back. Voyage into deep space and rebuild our homeland. The fire of civilization will never be extinguished. This is human civilization. Even in another universe, human civilization is still human civilization. After a complete visit to this legendary super-large deep space carrier, more than 4 hours have passed. The meaning is still unfinished. Wong Dong immediately opened journey to the Star Sea, and tried out a few tricks. 3 wins and 2 losses. The performance gap is too big. No matter how you operate it, there is nothing you can do to fix it. Then try to participate in a 1,000-ship battle. It's really exciting. The feeling of a large battlefield and a single ship battle are completely different things. Pay more attention to the discipline, execution ability, and command and dispatch level of the battle formation. The role of single ships is diluted to a minimum. Immersed in it, time flies by and it's time to get off the plane in a blink of an eye. It is a pity that Tututu was not online during the whole process. After all, the little girl is a school student and cannot spend time online every day. After walking out of Maizu Internet Cafe, Wang Dong did not go home directly. Wang Dong was born in a welfare institution, but that doesn't mean he is completely alone. There is still social interaction. In addition to the circle of interstellar miners, Wang Dong still maintains full contact with those friends who received primary education together. In layman's terms, they are classmates. Not to mention the situation in other parts of the Bohemia Kingdom, at least in the Blackstone Barony, 12 years of primary education is universal. As for higher secondary education and above, it is unfortunately not available in the Barony of Blackstone. What Wang Dong is going to attend today is a small class reunion. When I walked into the box 10 minutes before the appointed time, 16 or 17 male and female students had already arrived. Wang Dong greeted everyone one by one with a smile. Like Wang Dong, most students can only stay in the mining area and find a job after finishing their primary education. Although it is a mining-type heavy industry, the work tasks in the mining star area are not actually heavy. After all, this is the interstellar age, and exploiting manual labor seems inefficient and meaningless given the advancement of technology. Even among the civilian class, the lives of most people do not appear to be difficult. If you just want to support yourself and your family, it's not that difficult. The less stressful life, coupled with the relatively monotonous daily life of the mining planet, means that the frequency of class reunions is not low. Wang Dong, how have you achieved recently? After Wang Dong found a seat and sat down, the first person who approached him was a handsome young man with a tall build and a bronze face. This is Wang Dong's friend Chen Linfang, who has been at the same table with Wang Dong for 3 years. In addition, Wang Dong, who was born in an orphanage, was brought home from time to time for various reasons. Chen Linfang's family also treated Wang Dong as a nephew. After Wang Dong chose a career as an interstellar miner after graduation, he still visited Chen's house frequently. He put his thick arm on Wang Dong's shoulder and greeted him while passing a can of bubble wine. It's just so. What about you? I heard that the factory is going to put on the production line again. Is there any hope of progress? Wang Dong took the wine casually and took a big gulp. The refreshing liquid flowed into the stomach along the esophagus, bringing a chill along the way. He let out a sigh of relief and replied lazily. Chen Linfang currently works in a large smelting plant. It's not that easy. The production line has not even started purchasing, and the relevant team leaders and other positions have been basically booked. By the time it was our turn to know the news, the daylilies were already cold. Chen Linfang sneered disdainfully. Wang Dong patted his generous shoulder sympathetically. Information disadvantage is the most common reason in human society that increases the height of life. Actually, it doesn't matter. If it hadn't been for the old man's request, I wouldn't have bothered to waste my life in the smelter. Chen Linfang said indifferently. Wang Dong believed this. His friend had never had a stable temperament. Wang Dong, I want to find an opportunity to go to the Highland Viscounty. There is a battleship-type secondary education college there. I want to see if I can pass the exam. He hugged Wang Dong harder and Chen Linfang whispered in his ear. Wang Dong raised his eyebrows. The existence of the fire battleship is not a big secret. After all, over the years, what should be known has been known for a long time. Furthermore, the fire battleship also requires personnel in various positions. Crew members of various units such as helmsman, radar operator, engine, damage control, etc., and even service personnel still have to be recruited externally. Therefore, for the civilian class, it is also a good way out to work on a certain fire warship after passing professional training. But I have to say that Chen Linfang's idea is a bit bold. In the infeft Bohemia Kingdom, it was not easy for the civilian class to move between different aristocratic territories. If you want to go through the immigration procedures through normal channels, you can only look at the opportunities. Especially for native-born civilians like Chen Linfang. You don't want to cross the border illegally, do you? Uncle Chen is afraid that he will hack you to death. Wang Dong replied in a low voice as well. That won't happen. If I cross the border illegally, my whole family will be implicated. Chen Linfang waved his hands repeatedly. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.